All right. So, I guess I'm just going to go ahead and do this. Uh, there's been quite a few of you guys that come in that were from the SKyforge community asking me when I was going to play SKyforge. Why did I stop playing SKyforge? Um, will I ever play SKyforge again? The answer to that is I don't know. I can't say no, because I have hopes that maybe they'll change their business model. Um, I never, I've been wanting to do reviews on games and stuff like that, but it seems like when I get caught up into them, I get really, really into them and trying to split time up to do it, especially with my real life. It's kind of tough. I'm starting to get the hang of it now. Um, Scheduling myself to be able to do this for you guys because you guys ask for these things, and I don't really put anything out for you guys to refer to about my feelings. And when I'm gaming or streaming, I don't get time to put my all into it. So here I am doing something on the talk show part of Twitch, and I will highlight it and post it on YouTube for you guys. If is this going to be a Sunday thing? I don't know. But going back to the point, SKyforge. The one thing I do not like, which is a really big thing, is the business model. I don't like the payment option, how you can, real money just has so much influence in that game. And personally got caught up in the middle of it. Like, I got caught up in the graphics, which was pretty cool, the combat system, the ability to change God mode, playing one character, switching to multiple classes. It kind of it taught you how to play multiple roles. There were people that only liked playing tanks, and by me talking to them and explaining how the game works, they started to venture off into different roles, and they actually started to like other roles that they never thought were possible for them to even like. So with that in mind, it has some really good points and really cool aspects of the game that I really, really enjoy. I just wish that that payment model just wasn't there. And for those that don't know what I mean by the payment model, there is so many ways to boost up your character. You can boost up the rings, your enchants, you're going through your nodes, through your atlases, all that. You can grind out currencies to do it, or you can just spend real money. Bam, do that. By doing that, it allows you to boost your prestige up. So the higher your prestige is, the more instances you have available, which means you're going to get higher gear, which means your proficiency is going to catch up the gear that you get. So though you're not buying the items indirectly, what you're doing is buying access to get the items quick. So I think that's where some people call it the pay to win option. Excuse me. That does have an effect on gameplay in the community. For one, gameplay, you go PvE, you're going to get dusted on the DPS meters by somebody that has so much gear because they were able to grind out or pay for that boost to get the prestige to then get that gear. And PvP, I know they have a little option to boost you up, but they still have the gear, and you're probably going to get trashed. Another part that I did not like is the guild option, which they're called pantheons. So when you have your pantheon, there's options in there to upgrade. So you can do different types of PvE, so you can survive, or you can have what you can see like the pictures around. These are the distortion bosses, except for that one way at the top right. That one's just regular old Pug instance. But the other distortions, I'm sorry, is it distortions? I forgot the name of them. The A series is the one that my Pantheon we were doing, and we stopped at A4. And that right there was interesting in itself, because like normal MMORPGs, you would just go and recruit and build your guild up. In this game, you recruit your Pantheon, then you have to tax them to purchase things and upgrades for your Pantheon, so you can do these things, so you can get into additional PvE content, so you can compete in PvP. So what guilds were doing at the beginning, if you had a guild and a certain person that had a lot of money liked you, they would pretty much finance your guild. So by doing that, you were able to unlock just about everything in the guild. So all you had to do was just add more people to it.
Oh,
So
yeah.
so what ends up happening is that one guild is going to have more things to provide people versus another guild or another Pantheon who doesn't have somebody that has money to do that. So there's an imbalance there. So now when people are like, oh, well, look, they have everything unlocked, I'll just go over to that guild or that Pantheon, versus the other people that are probably really cool people, probably really skilled, but just don't have thousands of dollars. I know for a fact. I know a few people that created their Pantheon, and at the end when they quit, spent thousands of dollars in getting their character and their Pantheon just so they can recruit. Now, I think that's really bad for a community. I think that sends the wrong message. Now, I don't want to beat a dead horse here over the payment options and stuff like that. So I'll just say it one more time. The character, the way you build your Pantheon, all that buffing and adding and building, there are just way too many payment options to all of it. Another thing that I really didn't like was there's the currency. There are so many different types of currency. I know they a couple of patches ago they started to minimize that with the ether projector. I think now you can just get a certain type of resistant currency and you can spread it across the others, or it's a little bit simpler. But there's still a lot of currency. I think I counted close to like 40 different types of currencies. 40. That is a lot. It's too much. But in that currency, there's a lot of ways to bypass it. Spending real money. I did it again. I said I wasn't going to talk about it anymore, but I did it again. So yeah, the real money has a way to bypass a lot of different currencies. But when it comes to resistances and stuff like that, you still have to go farm that. So that's my main issue. Main issues that I have with SKyforge. Now I know some people will say, "Well, the grinding is really boring and all this stuff. I really don't like. There's nothing else to really do." But there's some good parts about SKyforge. I don't want to talk about all bad. There are some parts that I really, really, really enjoyed. One of them was leveling up one character, which I think a lot of MMOs should start doing. Level up one character that can switch to multiple classes. It's an amazing idea. It really is. Because you don't have to go back and go back to that starting level all over again and go through that part. You don't want to see the same scenery all over again. I felt like that was the best thing in the game. Besides that, you can transform your character into a god. And then playing those roles, I think it's like 10 or 12 roles that you could play. You can switch to them while you're in god mode. And for some of you guys that don't know what I mean by that, here I have a little clip of one of me playing in god mode here. We'll just play it. So here you can see me using an ultimate, and I'm playing a berserker, and this is me learning how to switch to different types of gods. So, and this is the distortion. 10-man raids, pretty fun. I think they go up to like 25 now, or 20. So, like, this is the part where I felt like when you get to the end game, the game shines even more. But you don't really notice it when you're leveling, obviously, because you don't have all this. So here I just switched to a gunner. So now I'm using my gunner abilities and ultimates. So this is the type of stuff that I feel like if you're a type of player that want to be able to do it all, this game will allow you to do it all. Now, I know they're getting ready to come out with a new game. This new game is called Revelations. I pray to God that they learned their lessons from SKyforge, which I hear they didn't do it from. I think they had another game before SKyforge called Alloys, and it's free to play right now on Steam. And if you read some of the comments are talking exactly about what I'm talking about on how many different types of currencies they have. I'm hoping in this game that they have coming out soon isn't going to be like that. But we can only hope, right? So I'm not going to say